Bowl loss to the Bucs a couple of times, then moved on from it. Adding, quote, "We have to find a way to get back and try to win it. Mahomes' current health status should definitely help." He said he's ahead of schedule following his off-season toe surgery, my toe, and is out of his walking boot. So, Acho, should the Chiefs be clear favorites to win the AFC?
Yeah, I don't know who the heck else could do it. I mean, when I look at the Chiefs, they're 30-6, and against the AFC opponents. So if they not the favorite, who else gonna be? It can only be a matter of the Buffalo Bills. That's it.
Act like that was hard to figure out.
But here's why, because we're banking on Josh Allen's continued ascension.
Why not?
And I just think that it's very hard to follow up 4,900 yards and 44 total touchdowns. Ask Lamar Jackson. It's very hard to follow up a MVP caliber season. Ask Lamar Jackson. Ask anybody who has won MVP prior. It's very hard to follow that up. So if the primary contender is Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills, but we know how hard it is to follow up a great season, Patrick Mahomes followed up his 50-touchdown season with a 28-touchdown season. So it's hard to follow up greatness with other greatness. I just do not see it. Again, I'm going to go to what are the great and who are the great quarterbacks in the AFC.
Go.
You got your Texans quarterback and Deshaun Watson, so much up in the air with him. You got Justin Herbert, new head coach, plus he's still young. You got Lamar Jackson. Have they reached their ceiling? You got Josh Allen. And that's really when I look at like the elite quarterbacks in the AFC, because I don't know what Carson Wentz is going to do. I love Baker Mayfield, but I'm not going to throw him in the elite conversation yet. When I look at the elite quarterbacks in the AFC, that's kind of where it starts and where it stops.
I'm listening.
Whereas you have Andy Reid, plus Eric Bieniemy, plus Patrick Mahomes, going on their, third year together, starting collectively in this for a full season, I just don't see who can even really contend with them in the AFC.
Well, you already said it's the Buffalo Bills, and I think it is. It's not even there in the rear view mirror. It's not even there in the side view mirror. Just roll your passenger window down. Hey, Buffalo, what y'all doing? Passing you by? Because think about the number of opponents the Kansas City Chiefs have to fight this year. One, in their own heads, how they're watching the video and the film a couple times. We're going to move on. Hopefully we can do that again. Not only make it there, but win it. Tough sledding. Two, the actual opponents. You named all these teams. These teams are getting better. AFC, coaching, quarterback combos. I don't even want to go through the list like you just did. But let's start at the top. Josh Allen. He's improved. He's doubled his touchdown total every single year. Even if he doesn't keep that pace, he just improves. And there's no indicator that he won't improve. Even if the numbers don't suggest it, he'll improve. That's going to be trouble for the Kansas City Chiefs. And then you talk about the fact that there's a Super Bowl hangover for teams that lose the Super Bowl. They don't even make it to playoffs, let alone make it back to the Super Bowl. There's just a lot of history. There's a lot in terms of mental makeup that they have to overcome just to become the Kansas City Chiefs in that position again. Now, if you make me bet who's going to be in the AFC Championship game, run it back. It's going to be Buffalo and the Kansas City Chiefs. Problem is, if you've been on teams before where you didn't fully realize your potential. And what happens is guys come back and say, you know what, we're going to do it again. We're going to get there, and this time we're going to finish the deal. Here's the problem, and Nick Saban always talks about this. Guys don't go back to square one because their assumption is we're already that good. And when you don't go back to square one in terms of building blocks, it usually comes back to bite you and haunt you at the worst time. If you look at the Buffalo Bills falling short to the Kansas City Chiefs, that's their goal. And for the Kansas City Chiefs, their goal is to win another Super Bowl. But what's on the way to win another Super Bowl? Them Buffalo Bills who are gunning just for you. You gunning for Tampa Bay. You gunning for Lombardi. Bruh, you may not even get that far. At least history says you won't.
So let's narrow down the conversation, because it's all fun to talk about the whole AFC, but we can all agree it's Chiefs and the Bills.
That's what it looks like.
We know one thing. Okay. We know the Chiefs division is far easier to get out of. Raiders, Broncos, Chargers. Far easier to get out of than the Bills division. You still got to face the Patriots, and you believe in Cam Newton. We all believe in Belichick. You got to face the Miami Dolphins. I believe in Brian Flores, to be seen, but we kind of believe in Tua. And then there's the Jets. The Chiefs will for sure win their division, which guarantees them a playoff spot. The Bills, we don't even know if they will for sure win their division. So that just makes things a little bit murky. But I think the real dialogue to be had, Sel, is we can kind of agree Josh Allen probably won't statistically have as good a season. Not because he won't get better, but it is very hard to match that season he had. I've shown you all the history, and I can do it again.
No, I love your history, but Josh Allen is that dude.
He is.
37 touchdowns, you don't think he could go over? Yes, I do.
Isn't Patrick Mahomes that dude? Because he had 50 touchdowns and he had 26.
Yeah.
Lamar Jackson's that dude. But that's my point, right? My point is this. Josh Allen played something. It might be Stephon Diggs. It might be Josh Allen.
I get that.
The head coach might get COVID. It might be something, something random might happen.
Right.
Football, you can't prepare for what you can't prepare for.
Yeah.
So I do think that something random will happen to the Bills that didn't necessarily happen this year.
Okay.
So even if it is the Bills and the Chiefs, if the Bills are the primary opponent for the Chiefs, something might happen to these Bills where Patrick Mahomes already faced his something happened moment. After he won the MVP, he got hurt the next year.
Yeah.
And he only passed for 26 touchdowns the next year.
Right.
They still succeeded and got to the Super Bowl, inevitably won it. But if Josh Allen has his first hiccup, because he's been on a crazy upward trajectory, can they still sustain the hiccup? That's where my bet is like, you know what? I'm not convinced.
Good point, because they need balance in their offense. Their rushing attack did not live up to that balancing act that they need to continue to improve. I give you that. But they did have the second best scoring offense. They did have, in terms of passing offense, the third best. And they were best on third down. Some good-ass metrics to be in terms of top 2 or number 1 in this league. Here's the biggest problem. Forget everything I just said. Forget everything you just said. Only one team in the last 27 years have lost the Super Bowl and made it back the following season. 2017 Patriots. So we always talk about back-to-back champions, and we always talk about Tom Brady, and he's the last quarterback to win back-to-backs. Who's the last team to even go back to put in that situation after losing it the first year? 1 of 27? Now, you telling me I don't want to believe in the trajectory of Josh Allen? I'd rather believe in that than trying to be number 2 of 28 in terms of returning back to the Super Bowl. Good luck with that. Coming up, is Lamar Jackson the next quarterback to get a huge payday? I mean, big one.